What if I told you that your hair loss is actually not permanent? And what if I told you that most commercial products for hair loss is a complete scam, and the real solution is way simpler than you would expect? I used to struggle with hair loss myself, and of course I still do. It's an ongoing thing. Because of that, I know what kind of impact this can have on your mental well-being, your overall confidence, and in general just your love life. And this is why I have created this video. I've fought hair loss for several years, and in this video I've condensed all the knowledge I've gained so that you can learn from me and reverse your own hair loss way faster than I did. And just a quick disclaimer before we start. This is what I did, and this is what I found that works best for me. Nothing more, nothing less. So let's start off with some of the fundamental knowledge that you will need to tackle your own hair loss problems. First off, there's the issue of DHT. DHT is created from your natural or unnatural testosterone by an enzyme that is called 5-alpha reductase. But in this video, we're just going to call it 5-AR from now on. This little enzyme will take some of your testosterone and convert it into DHT. And DHT is a problem for our hair because it will create inflammation in the scalp, which is the main reason that you probably are losing your hair. You see, every study out there argues back and forth on the reason for hair loss, but they do agree on one thing, and that is an increase in scalp DHT, which basically means the amount of DHT to be found in your scalp area, and inflammation in the so-called scalp area will go up in people who are struggling with hair loss. So we can say for sure that DHT and inflammation is the root cause of yours and mine hair loss problems. Now that you know what is causing your hair loss problems, what are your options then? First of all, let's get rid of all these hair loss shampoos, oils, and so on. To be honest, except from a few of them, most of these are completely fraud. And even those that actually work is only treating the symptoms and not the root cause of your problems. Imagine that you have a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Instead of fixing the hole, you are constantly trying to keep it full by filling it from the top. It's a never-ending game and you seriously can't win that fight. Now, I did the same mistake for years and tried all kinds of quick fixes. I tried most of the solutions that are out there, but I kept losing my hair. So I finally came to the conclusion that probably most modern day solutions are only out there to take your money, leaving you with a thinning bank and an even thinner scalp. So what did I end up doing? First off, I needed to reduce the amount of DHT in my bloodstream and hence my scalp. I did this by going to my doctor and asking for a prescription for finasteride. Finasteride is a pill that you take on a daily basis, and it works by removing a portion of the 5-alpha reductase 5-AR enzyme, as we talked about earlier. And by removing some of that, it won't be able to create as much DHT as it used to do. I got a prescription for 1 milligram of finasteride that I have been taking daily ever since, and that did improve my hair a lot. I'll put a link in my description for a video I made about finasteride that will explain it in further details if you want to know more about it. And as I said, that did take care of some of the problems. But what about the rest of the DHT? Finasteride only took a portion of the 5-AR and removed it. So what about the rest of it? This is where it got a little more tricky, and it took me a lot of research to figure this out. I was not able to reduce my DHT any further. So I had to figure out a way to actually block the DHT from reaching my scalp area. And if you check out my channel, you will see several experiments with several products that basically every one of them failed me. But one of them actually showed a lot of results. And I ended up stumbling over the product RU58841, on Reddit the subforum in their Trestless, and I saw some amazing results that people had with this product. RU58841 is a topical solution that you just apply to your scalp before bedtime each night. And it will actually just block the rest of the DHC from reaching your follicles on your scalp. It's fairly simple to use. I started using 1 milliliter each night before bedtime, and when I started to add this to my 1 milligram of finasteride daily, I started to see some massive results coming in there. Since then, I've been using RU58841 on and off for several years now, and every time I went off, I ended up regretting it. But I did it to test out new products for my YouTube channel, and this is also why I can say for sure that RU58841 works wonders, because I always go back to it when something else fails me. Be careful where you buy it though, since there's a lot of shady places that offer impure or different kinds of RU58841 or different kinds of solutions. And if you buy the powdered version, it can be hard to create a solution alone from that. The easiest way I can recommend for people that just wants to get going with the hair loss protocol is to go to Androgenic and get their pre-made solution ready to apply. They also include a purity test so that you always know what you're getting. And personally, I just use a 8% strength solution and add 1 milliliter before bedtime each night. And if you use the code Blueprint at checkout, you get a 10% discount on your whole order in there. But even though that these two improvements gave a lot of results, I decided to take it even further with my research. And after a lot of research, I finally figured out the last factors that I would need to address. You see, in our modern world, we have started to eat more and more hyper-processed foods with low nutrition quality and high inflammation impact on our bodies. Not only that, but we are sleeping less than we ever had in human history. So what I decided to do was to remove all non-organic foods from my diet. No more chips, no more sodas, candy, or just quick foods in general. I was mainly eating stuff like fruits, nuts, meats, and veggies on a daily basis. And I just tried in general to stay away from anything that could keep on a shelf with some kind of airtight packaging. And then I decided to go and buy a Whoop band and let it decide my sleep schedule from now on. Keep in mind, I did not follow this like a complete fanatic. I could still have a few things on a monthly basis, and I did not always follow the sleep schedule to a point. But instead of that, I decided to follow the 80-20 rule. If you don't know, the 80-20 rule is a simple way of saying that I would follow the schedule 80% of the time, leaving the last 20% to be a little off so that I also could enjoy life. Usually, it would mean that in the weekends, instead of going to bed at 22, I would go to bed at something like 23:30, and I would also on the same day have some snacks while playing video games at night. And even considering that I did not follow it to a point, this is actually where the magic started to happen for real. In combination with the medication and the topical application every night, and now my improved lifestyle, I started to see my hair getting thicker and more dense. Today, of course, I still adhere to the lifestyle, not only because it just gave me a chance to actually regrow a lot of my hair, but also because it actually increased my well-being and my overall health. And since I didn't stay up all night, guys, I just look much more healthy, and of course this will help in the attraction of the opposite sex or whatever you prefer. And this is some of the most important steps that I would advise anyone with hair loss to go and take care of to start your hair loss journey. But once again, remember guys, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better you can act out there. And this is why I have another video up here about hair loss that I definitely would recommend that you go and watch and improve your own knowledge about hair loss so that you are better prepared to fight hair loss and how to reverse it.